The drawing sat on her desk like an accusation. Stick figures holding hands, a tall man, a small boy, and a woman with curly hair that could only be her. Family was scrawled across the top in a child's uneven handwriting. As Elaine Matthews, CEO of Horizon Technologies, stared at the crayon masterpiece, she felt something crack inside her carefully constructed world. What you're about to witness isn't just a story, it's a reminder of how family can form in the most unexpected places. If this resonates with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more stories that touch the heart. Mark Wilson had been working at Horizon Technologies for just over a year. A brilliant software engineer with kind eyes that carried shadows of exhaustion, he was raising his 6-year-old son Jamie alone after his wife's death 3 years earlier. The company's emergency childcare center had become a lifeline when school holidays or sick days disrupted their delicate routine. Jamie was a quiet child with his father's thoughtful gaze and a sketchbook perpetually tucked under his arm. The boy had taken to drawing constantly after his mother passed. His therapist called it processing grief, but Mark recognized it as something more fundamental. Jamie was trying to recreate his world on paper, making sense of what remained. Elaine had noticed Mark from his first day. Not romantically, she prided herself on maintaining professional boundaries, but because of his exceptional work and the gentle way he spoke about his son during casual conversations. At 38, Elaine had built her company from the ground up, sacrificing personal relationships for professional success. Her office walls displayed degrees and awards rather than family photos. The drawing appeared after the company's summer picnic. Jamie had spent the day following Elaine around, asking questions about her job and why she wore boss shoes. She'd found his curiosity endearing and had shown him how to skip stones across the lake, something her grandfather had taught her decades ago. "Mr. Wilson, could I see you in my office?" Elaine's voice carried across the open workspace on Monday morning. Mark followed her, anxiety tightening his chest. Performance reviews weren't scheduled for months. When the door closed behind them, Elaine held up the drawing. "Your son left this on my desk. I'm curious, why does Jamie draw pictures of us as a family?" Mark's face flushed. "I'm so sorry, Ms. Matthews. I'll talk to him about boundaries and—" "I'm not upset," she interrupted. "I'm just confused." Mark sank into the chair across from her desk. The weight of single parenthood seemed to press down on his shoulders as he gathered his thoughts. "Jamie has been drawing these pictures for months," he finally said. "Not just of you, of his teacher, our neighbor who watches him sometimes, even the librarian who reads stories on Saturdays." His voice caught. After Sarah died, he stopped drawing families altogether. His therapist was concerned. Then about 6 months ago, he started creating these expanded families. Elaine waited, sensing there was more. "Last night, I finally asked him why he keeps drawing different women as part of our family." His answer. Mark paused, blinking rapidly. He said, "Dad, I'm collecting moms for us to choose from when you're ready." The silence that followed felt sacred somehow. Elaine's vision blurred as she looked down at the crayon figures. "He told me he picked you because you laugh at his jokes and you're not afraid of bugs," Mark continued, a sad smile touching his lips. "And because you look at me the way Mommy did in the old pictures." Elaine felt tears spill onto her cheeks before she realized she was crying. She, who had negotiated million-dollar deals without flinching, was undone by a child's crayon drawing. "I never meant to make him think," she began. "You showed kindness to a child who's desperate for female connection," Mark said gently. "You didn't do anything wrong." In that moment, something shifted between them, an acknowledgement of shared humanity beyond job titles and professional roles. The following weeks brought subtle changes. Elaine found herself stopping by the childcare center during lunch breaks. She invited Mark and Jamie to the museum exhibition on dinosaurs. Small moments accumulated like treasures. 3 months later, when Jamie drew another family picture, this time with Elaine helping him with homework while Mark cooked dinner. It felt less like fantasy and more like a possibility taking shape. The company holiday party became the backdrop for their first real conversation about what was developing between them. Standing beside the elaborate gingerbread display, Elaine confessed her fears about disrupting Jamie's healing process. "He's resilient," Mark said. "More than that, he saw something in you that I was too afraid to acknowledge." "And what was that?" she asked. "That sometimes family isn't just what we're born into or what we've lost. Sometimes it's what we build together, one crayon drawing at a time." A year later, Jamie's artwork covered the refrigerator in their shared home. The stick figures had evolved. The woman with curly hair now held the boy's hand while the tall man stood beside them. "My Family" remained the title, but it was no longer wishful thinking. Elaine kept the original drawing framed on her desk at work. It reminded her daily that success could be measured in ways she'd never considered before, in a child's laughter, in quiet evenings sharing the day's events, in the courage to open her heart when she least expected to. As she built a life with Mark and Jamie, Elaine realized that the most important merger she'd ever negotiated wasn't between companies but between three souls finding their way to each other. The boy who collected potential mothers had ultimately helped her discover the mother within herself, and in doing so, had completed a family that none of them knew they were missing. Sometimes the most profound changes begin with the simplest questions. For Elaine, Mark, and Jamie, it started with, "Why does your son draw pictures of us as a family?" and ended with the answer becoming their reality. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Remember that family comes in many forms, and sometimes the most beautiful connections are the ones we never saw coming.